Session will begin in 1 minute, my dear friends. So, hello friends. Welcome to all of you for this 369 days of global peace meditation to save animals and to go vegetarian and vegan. So I'm Sri Lakshmi from UK. I have been practicing this breath meditation from past 12 to 13 years. Since my childhood, I was a vegetarian. I was born in a vegetarian family. So as I love animals, birds, fishes, my dear friends. We all know that human beings and all these life forms, we are all interconnected. So it is our responsibility to respect all life forms, to have compassion towards all the life forms. So welcome to all of you for this 369 days of global peace meditation. It is a project started with the intention of creating vegetarian world where all animals are respected and treated with kindness and compassion, my dear friends. So Patriji always says, right thinking leads to right eating. Right thinking comes from right meditation. So breath meditation is a powerful way to connect with ourselves so that we realize that all beings have right to live. So join this great mission to stand up for animals. Together, we can transform this planet Earth into a heaven to live. So my dear friends, today we have with us Master Ravi Kiran from UK. He's a wonderful master. He has been practicing this breath meditation since 2007, and he has been living in UK from past 11 years. He's working as associate director for an IT company, and he's one of the founding members of PSSM UK. He's a vegan, and with meditation and with plant-based diet, he totally transformed his life. He regularly organizes and conducts meditation sessions and workshops across UK. So he has in-depth knowledge on this plant-based diet, my dear friends. So let's all learn from him. So Master Ravi Kiran, we welcome you.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you for inviting me and having me here on your day one wisdom session. And it's a wonderful, wonderful initiative. And kudos to you. And it's always inspiring the way you take the projects. You know, the amount of love and compassion you have for the animals, which have been seeing since last few years, last 10 years almost, I guess. So yeah, and thank you friends, for joining the session today. So as Sri Lakshmi mentioned, so I've been in the UK since last 11 years, and I started meditation in the year 2007. Since 2007, I've seen a lot of changes in me, and still I am I still see the improvements day by day, with more and more meditation. Let us dive into the subject, that plant-based diet. So Sri Lakshmi, because of the interaction we used to have and we have regularly, is she may be thinking that I'm super expert in plant-based, but I'm not really expert. But whatever the knowledge I have, whatever the studies and researches that were done and that I followed, I haven't done any research in terms of how it impacts the overall, but to my own experience, I have done some research. I have experimented on myself. Okay, so let us go into that. How I have prepared a slide. I mean, it's not really giving a lot of information, but as we go through the slides, I will explain how it helped me, and just a minute, let me first. I'm just trying to share. Let me know when you can see the screen. Are you able to see my screen, Sri Lakshmi?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So plant-based diet, right? So basically, I became vegan in the year 2012 when by then I was already into meditation, and I've been following the vegetarian diet, and I was a strict vegetarian. But before meditation, I was a very you can say like hardcore non-vegetarian. I was a ferocious meat eater. But then, after coming into meditation, the compassion, it automatically came into my life, and I became compassionate towards animals. It's not because okay, because you do meditation you have to be vegetarian. It's not like that. It just happened like that. And when uh, after I moved to UK in the year 2011, I've been going through a lot of videos and seeing a lot of I've heard the term called vegan. Okay. And I was always trying to see, like, how can I go into the depth of meditation. That's when I got to know about this society called Supreme Master Ching Hai Society. So where one of my meditator friend, she introduced and she told about this, oh, there is this master, and if you want to get initiated into this meditation, you need to be strict vegan for 3 months. So that was in the year 2011 December time. And again, we were having the regular chat, and in 2012 in the beginning also, she kind of said, if you want to get initiated into this meditation technique, she was teaching that organization, they have a different technique. So I said, okay, let me try, because I'm always want to kind of see, even though I was into this Anapanasati meditation, I thought, there will be something more. And if I, go to some other, because they were like, mentioning about the technique is very powerful, and the master is also, she was exactly same as Patriji. She always talks, about this truth very openly. So I was like, okay, let me try. And that's when I became the vegan. Right. So that was the reason why I went plant-based diet. So I wouldn't say it's a plant-based. I think there is a difference between vegan and plant-based. So I became a vegan, completely vegan, without even any dairy products. So my diet is having completely uh, vegan, no animal products. Okay. So we if you want to get into that organization, so they said, you have to be vegan in all cases, and you should not even kind of contribute maybe the money or the work you do. It should not directly contribute to the meat industry or dairy industry. So they were very strict. So I was like, I tried my best. But I work in a investment bank, and there are certain things you cannot avoid, as in my company may be investing in the dairy products, all those things. But yeah, regardless of that, so they were like, okay, that's fine, because you cannot do anything over there, you are like helpless there, but still. Okay, then that's when I started. I became very, very strict, 3 months vegan. And I went to Paris. There's a place called Nice in France. So near from Paris, it is a couple of hours of journey over there. And I took the initiation into that meditation. And later I found that there are different techniques, right? So, but Anapanasati is the peak of the pyramid, right? So because it's breath is such a minute thing, and when you follow that breath, you go deep inside, and that's what I realized after that. But every technique has got its own benefits, and everyone gets connected to a different techniques. So uh, I'm again back to Anapanasati. So that's when I went to plant-based. So I just wanted to see, I mean, what happens when you convert to a plant-based diet. I keep using plant-based diet, but I think plant-based, it can be a vegetarian. But when I say plant-based, I'm talking about vegan. Okay, so when we switch to plant-based diet, there's so many things happen. But in my case, it was a bit different. The reason is the way I was, my eating habits, right? So I was a vegetarian, and I was getting a lot of things, the sweets and everything, all Indian sweets. You have to use the ghee and milk. I was trying to what do you call, replace that taste with some other thing. So I was eating a lot of sugar and a lot of, that's when it happens for some people, right? So if you are really changing your diet for the health reasons and for the compassion, being compassionate to the animals, so there will be different reasons, right? In my case, I know there are, the animals are suffering, and I've seen some videos where how the dairy industry works. So, and at the same time, I got this opportunity to become a vegan. And but I was missing a lot of these Indian sweets and some of the Indian dishes, like paneer and all those things. I was trying to replace them. I was trying to get the same taste. So I ended up eating a lot of junk then, for few months. Then I realized, okay, no, this is not the way. So it took some time for me to get into this healthy eating habits. Even though I became a vegan. Vegan means everyone thinks that it is healthy option, but it all depends on you, what kind of food you are eating. But definitely, it is definitely helping the what do you call, animal kingdom. So when you move from non-vegetarian diet to vegetarian, you will see certain amount of benefits. And when you move from vegetarian to vegan, so, and if you're taking the healthy food, then you will see a lot of benefits. So sometimes, some people, they start losing the unwanted weight, right? So uh, this country, or anywhere, right, because of the availability of the resources and the food, so much of mass production, everyone is eating a lot of food, and they're eating a lot of junk, and we are kind of putting on a lot of weight. So when you convert from vegetarian or non-vegetarian to vegan, so you lose unwanted weight. And also in vegetarian, or even in non-vegetarian food, right? So non-vegetarian is definitely, I know it's a lot of inflammation issues, right? So you will have the chronic issues, the inflammatory issues when you are having this non-vegetarian food. But with this vegetarian and vegan food, so you will definitely reduce the inflammation, and you will reduce the cholesterol as well when you move to the plant-based diet. I've seen, even in my family, my brother, he used to eat meat, and then he stopped meat anyway because of the meditation and everything. And he, after certain years, he stopped taking milk products as well. And he used to have some issues with his breathing, the respiratory problems. So, to his surprise, that breathing problem is gone within 2 months. He just gave up the milk products, just because he heard from someone that, okay, I'm a vegan, I'm healthy. So, oh, he was like, okay, is it really the case? Let me also try. Anyway, he's like. He doesn't eat a lot of junk, so he said I'll give it a try. Yeah, and he gave it a try, and then he has seen that a lot of respiratory issues, they are because of the milk products. So that is the proof for me. My brother, he kind of uh, you know overcome is respiratory issues. And some of the people and in my circle, they had this sinusitis, and there are other issues there related to the nostril and all those things. So even they have seen the benefit after they moving to the vegan diet. And also, I mean, there are a lot of research is done. It's not that, I know, and I've done some research on this. The researchers show that the heart failure, the risk of heart failure is very, very unlikely for the people who adopt the vegan diet. Okay, I'm not talking about a vegetarian here. Also, I'm just talking about vegan diet. Okay, so you can also reverse the diabetes with uh, vegan diet. Okay, so these are the things that will happen when when you are going to the vegan diet. Okay, so this is where I wanted to say about the vegans versus vegetarians, right? So some of you maybe I mean, most of the people in the UK, we know what is the difference between vegan and vegetarian, but in India is still a kind of a alien concept that vegan is, right? So nowadays it's, so in metropolitan cities, this term is kind of quite getting familiarized, but in rural areas it's still oh, what is this vegan? I mean, we have heard about the vegetarian, but we don't even know what is vegan. So vegan is something where uh, vegetarian plus in vegetarian we take dairy products, and we take honey, and we also, I mean, some people, not the meditators, some people, they use the woolen clothes, or woolen whatever, the sweaters and all those, in the winter season. And also the leather what do you call footwear, right? There's some people, they use leather shoes, even though they claim themselves as a vegetarians, they still use the leather items. They don't really eat the meat, but they still use the leather items. But whereas in vegans, they don't take any kind of animal byproducts, right? The animal products and byproducts of animal, like for example, the milk comes from animal. Okay, so it is not produced from the plants. So that's why vegans, they don't drink anything related to milk, the cow milk, or buffalo milk, whatever it is. And also any byproducts of milk, like paneer, cheese. So that's vegan. I hope it is clear for all of you. So, and also we think that, being a vegetarian, it is enough. We are doing kind of what do you say, we are compassionate towards animals. I would say, maybe I have other slides as well, but I'll let me start here itself. Vegetarians, because I've seen in my life as well, before before becoming vegan, I've seen the videos where how we are contributing to the meat industry indirectly, at least in this country, and also in India also, because India becoming the highest beef exporting country in the world. One of the highest exports happen from the beef exporting happens from India. So what happens is, the way the dairy industry works, because we had a dairy farm, because my brother, he used to run. So but he was slightly better compared to other dairy farms. I'm talking about in India, and also in the UK. I've seen some of the videos. um, they are artificially impregnate, artificially made pregnant, where every year someone would keep in, some they kind of insert things to get the cows pregnant. So it is not natural. So every year they do it, because only when the cow gets pregnant, and when it delivers a calf, then only it can give the milk, right? So because of that, every time until it stops producing the milk, until then it will be it will be made artificially pregnant, so that they can deliver a baby. And if the calf is a male calf, it is directly sent to the slaughterhouse. if it is a female, then they are also kind of used as a milk producing machine. Okay, that's what it happens in this country, in the UK. Okay, so what is happening here? How are we, the vegetarians who are consuming the milk products, how are we contributing here for the meat industry? So normally usually the lifetime of a cow is 15 years. Because of this artificial things, and whenever it stops giving the milk, so by the time it stops giving the milk, it will be around 6 years. Whenever it stops giving the milk, the cow, this dairy farm industry, guys, they will send the cows to the slaughterhouses. This is how we are contributing to the meat industry. Okay, I'm not saying we should feel guilty about it, but it's better, it's always good to know the facts, right, the truth behind the dairy farm and dairy industry. Because we had this dairy farm like about 8-9 years ago. My brother, I mean, by then I was already vegan. So what my brother has seen in the dairy industry in India, I'm talking about, and it is very normal here in the UK. So they give injections to give more milk. So the milk that we are getting, it's not really a natural milk. Okay, so that is also somehow kind of polluted. Okay, so that's one other thing we need to say. And also, sorry, just a minute, someone is calling me. Just a minute, Sriyashmi, just a minute.
Yeah. Yes, friends, just stay online. Wait for a few moments until Ravi Kiran joins.
Sorry, guys. So my daughter was calling. So I hope you understood how we vegetarians are contributing indirectly to the the what you call the violence against the animals, right? So yeah, just think about it, and we don't need to regret that we've been doing that and we are still doing it. So as our Guruji, Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji says that every regret is a fresh blunder. Okay, we are not here to regret, we are here to learn, and then see what changes we can make in our life. Okay, so that's one thing. And also in vegans, there is one other thing I would like to say, because there are two different types of vegans, I would say, I mean, in my opinion. Because me, as a conscious vegan and a meditator and vegan, I know why I became vegan, and I also know even within the vegan, what kind of products, what kind of food it really helps for my health, and also for the mental health and the physical health and emotional health, right? So but the vegans usually they don't really uh, worry about the food, like garlic and all those things in this country, where they think that everything is because the garlic is vegan. So here a lot of people eat vegan, and also everywhere the vegans, they who kind of converted to a vegan diet for the sake of animals, they don't care about this spirituality thing, where the garlic is also affects our mental, our mental health. So it provokes for some kind of violence, like as in, like blaming ourselves and hurting ourselves is also violence, right? So they don't understand that, and I don't want to blame them, but because they are not into spirituality. But anyway, so the conversation is not about within the vegans who who is better or who is not better, but it's just that I'm just making you aware that when you go and in a vegans group and then you say, oh, we don't eat garlic, they'll say, okay, what is wrong with garlic? It is also vegan. And when you go and say that it's a sattvic and it is not sattvic and it's tamasic, and they don't understand, they will kind of so yeah, that's how it happens. Okay, so let's go into next thing. Yeah, so the studies and researches, the reason I kept this because even though I became a vegan, just looking at the videos and just to get into initiated a different meditation technique. In 2015 16, when my daughter when she was born, and I went to a conference in the US, uh, where it is called Institute for something human potential, okay, IAHT, something like that. So it is I went to a conference called How to Multiply Your Baby's Intelligence. So there they were talking about the food as well. I was surprisingly I've seen that because they have done a lot of research on the kids, and it's mainly about the kids and how you raise your kids, and how can you multiply their intelligence. So it's all about that workshop. It was about 7 days workshop in the US in Philadelphia. So I went there. uh, in that conference they were talking about the food, what kind of food we should avoid, and they were mainly telling about dairy products as well. So I was like surprised, wow. And they in the US and the Western country, so how they kind of encourage the non-vegetarian food, for the physical health. They kind of always say non-vegetarian food is much, but to my surprise they said we have to avoid dairy and also meat. uh, I'm not sure whether they are following in their personal life, but they were suggesting this for the kids to stop giving the dairy products and to stop giving the meat. So what happens in the dairy products is the milk that comes from the cow, it will have a, what do you call, hormone called casein. That casein is only for the cows, not for the cow, not for the humans. And also the amount of anybody wants to give the milk to their kids, because everybody thinks that there are a lot of calcium, there are a lot of nutrients in the milk. So the amount of calcium that is there in the milk is really very little bit, very tiny, and which is maybe it is helpful for maybe for the kids up until at the age of 5. But after 5, and for the people like us, for adults, it is not at all useful, right? The amount of calcium you need, that is very tiny. So more than that, you get a lot of calcium in all the leafy vegetables and certain lentils. And if you are like a I know most of us are here like Asians, so there are like we have finger millet. I think it's called finger millet, and Telugu it is called ragi. Okay, so there are so many millets where you get all different types of vitamins and minerals. Okay, and there are the researchers, how this meat industry is impacting our planet Earth is also done, right? So even compared to vegan and vegetarian, so vegetarian is also, to some extent, they are really contributing to the carbon footprint. So with this meat production, what you call the greenhouse gas emissions are like multiple times more. Okay, so we are really spoiling, damaging our planet Earth, and the amount of food is grown to raise this livestock. Okay, to in this livestock industry is if you don't do this, the there are so many countries who are like starving for food, and there's a lot of scarcity in the food. So we can kind of overcome those problems when we stop eating meat, when we adopt the plant-based diet. So there are so many researches. I don't need to tell you, I don't need to explain you, because you have so many resources online. You just go and check um, how going vegan diet, how are you helping the our planet, right? So there's so many studies done, so many researches done. Okay, just go through and then understand. And also with this the agriculture farming, the amount of water is used is more, and also the energy consumption, because they are raised in a big in like a you see that industries, right, how they are like in the same way they are raised, and there are a lot of power consumption is required. And also when the waste and everything goes into the water, into the sea and into the water, whatever the things, uh, what happens is, because these guys, they give some injections for the more meat, and those, because anything we take, right, the medicine, even when we take, so there's when they urinate or anything, the chemicals go into the sea, right? So that's what it is happening. So the waste, the animal waste, that is getting mixed into the water, into the sea, is also harmful for the the sea life creatures, and also for our the drinking water and everything. So the water consumption is more, and the food that we grow, for example, everyone blames that soya is the soya is one of the reason for this cutting down the forest. Why are they growing so much of soya? Because they need to feed to these animals, who are they are raised for the meat industry, right? So that soya and the water and these chemicals, everything all together, is we are polluting our environment. And also I kind of personally I mean, last 6 7 months, I personally started reducing the amount of chemicals I use. For example, the soap, uh, to be honest, I realized that we don't need a soap. And the soap is full of chemicals, right? So I think in olden days we used to use all those flows, like we call sunnipindi, or in Telugu we call sunnipindi, and we use those floors, right, for when we are taking the bath. And also when you need to take the head bath, I think they are called soap nuts. In Telugu, it is called Kongurkaya. So, we used to have those. I mean, in my childhood days, I remember that I'm using those. I don't know whether they are called soap nuts or whatever it is in English, but we used to call it as a Kongurkaya. I remember we used that. And now, everything is to wash the clothes, you use some chemicals. And where is this going? Everything. So everything is going into on the land, and also and to the sea, and we are kind of impacting the sea life creatures, and also the other animals, you know so that's you can go and do some research. Okay, so this is the interesting topic, because I last 2 to 3 years, I kind of attending all the meditation sessions, and listening to our masters. I understood that every living being on this planet Earth, except humans, are supporting this universe, and every living being is supporting us. We humans are taking the services from all the living beings. Okay, so I realized that even the smallest creatures like earthworms and ants, so they are doing a lot of work for us. And I mean, most of you are maybe you are aware of this, the amount of work they do. uh, for me, it was really a big surprise when I got to know about this. So they are called ecosystem engineers. So who is the engineer actually? So we call ourselves, the architectures and engineers, but we are like whatever the engineering work we are doing, we are, I think, directly or indirectly, we are doing the harm to the planet. But these animal engineers, they are helping the planet. They are like a gatekeepers for this planet Earth. They are like, supporting in many forms. So I was reading about what kind of how they are maintaining this uh, ecosystem, how they are maintaining the balance in the nature. I was like, surprised. So the ants, you know so they loosen the soil, and they make this airflow to the root of the trees, so that the whatever the plants are, they are growing because of the ants, right? So because they loosen the soils, and they create some kind of airflow system into the soil, right? So this is what it is happening. And the ants, whenever you see ants, what they would be doing, they would be carrying one or the other thing, some seeds or anything, right? So they carry the seeds, and they save for the future, save for the future. For example, if you may be seeing in the summertime, but you in rainy season you won't see the ants, because they in summertime they carry those food, and they save, and so that they don't need to come out during the rainy season. So they eat those seeds, and those seeds, they live, I mean, they don't eat complete seed. And those seeds, they sprout, and they grow as a new plant. I was like, my goodness, see how the even their food can produce plants in this. So this is the kind of, there's a lot of information you can go and read. And also I got to know that they are kind of reducing the global warming, the ants, because they are cooling the earth. Because because of the work they do for their food and everything, uh, they are helping to release the trapped carbon dioxide from the environment. So this is a new study is going to this is happening at the moment. So, and if you see any dead animals or dead thing or whatever it is, you see ants around it. So they are like kind of, what are they doing is they are decomposing that matter. Okay. So anything that, for example, plastic, they are not biodegradable, right? So something like that. So the ants, they kind of decompose that. So in a way, they are helping the ecosystem, right? So that is the thing we need to understand. And ants dispose 90% of the dead animals. Can you believe that? And earthworms, right? And if there are no ants on this planet Earth, so we'll have the whatever the food the that is grown, it will be without nutrients. That's what the research says. You just go and read the articles, and you will understand more. And also earthworms. Okay. So nowadays people are selling earthworms also. So they buy from some place, and then they go and put it in the wherever they are farming, wherever they are doing the agriculture, because they the earthworms, they help naturally fertilize the earth, right? So they ensure that the earthworms ensure that the earth is packed with the vital nutrients. Okay. So there are so many things these animals are doing, right? As I said, animal farming for agriculture, for meat production, right? So it is 11 times uh, higher than this vegan diet. Okay, so just understand the amount of the wastage and amount of pollution that the I also say sometimes vegetarian also, because we are indirectly doing, and meat industry particularly, I don't need to say about it, right? So future of the planet, where is the future of the planet? It is in our hands. How are we, like, to be honest, even though I'm a meditator, even though I became a vegetarian and became a vegan, I still uh, kind of unknowingly wasting a lot of things, right? So we buy so many things, so many plastic items, so many, we buy laptops, we buy mobiles, we buy so many things. Now I started using the used ones. Okay, so I have my bicycle, which is a second hand, and I have certain things which are like used ones. I'm not really, wherever it is possible, I'm trying to buy the used ones, right? So we can kind of recycle and reuse instead of wasting the resources. Okay, it's been like, I keep saying this in different sessions, it's been since September I have not used the soap. So see, that's the one of the change I started implementing. Using the soap, actually, it really it is not really healthy for your skin. We think that using the soap is, and when you use the soap, the water, where it is going, again it is going into the you know uh, earth. And what is there in the soap? It's full of chemicals, right? So the future of the planet is in our hands, right? So I know we are meditators and we are here for enlightenment, not for environment, but the planet is also important, right? And uh, I know some of the great masters and Latin master, they say, like, we have to drink the milk and we have to take the ghee. See, if we are following everything, whatever our masters and Latin masters are saying, as I was saying in the other day in one of the session, Sai Baba used to put his hand in the boiling rice and to check whether it is cooked or not. Can we do that? Yeah, if you are in a position to do that, it's okay. Whatever they say, you can do it, right? There is one thing called uh, బ్రహ్మజ్ఞానికి బ్రహ్మ హత్య కూడా, it's not really a crime. Means the enlightened master, even if he kind of harms other person, it is because there is a reason for an enlightened master. you know uh, they do for a purpose, they do for a reason, and we can't simply just follow them in every other thing. We have to use our common sense, we have to use our, what is he saying for me, actually. Sometimes enlightened master, they say for set of groups, let's say if there are 100 people, if they need to say something to the the larger audience, they say, okay, this is how you need to be and this is what you need to follow. But it may not be suitable for you. Okay, for them, enlightened masters, the creating a positive earth is important. When we uh, when everybody is a meditator, we start using our heart rather than the mind, and then we do the things from the heart. So that's why their focus is only on teaching meditation. Their focus is not whether it is vegan or vegetarian. So we have to use our common sense and we have to use what is the reality, and we have to see what is happening. We have to think practically. Okay, what is happening in reality, and come and see in the dairy farms, okay, in the UK or in India also. To be honest, in India the dairy farms are even worse than in the UK. At least in UK you have the some certain standards, but in India there are no standards. Everyone is doing on in their own, and there are no regulation, right? So I've seen, like, in one time, one of our cows, the baby is died. It just immediately after, like 3 4 days after it got delivered. So in the dairy farm, I mean, I'm here, but my brother was telling, like, this is what we had to do, and he felt very bad, but he has to do it because that's a business, right? So he, for the dead calf, he had to made a kind of replica, so that the cow will see the calf, and when the cow sees the calf, uh, it will have some, the hormones generated like oxytocin, and it will give the milk. So it was like, it's, see, the business to produce the milk, what kind of things we have to do, right? So for the dead body also, we are not even leaving the dead body of, the calf, just for the sake of milk. And earlier, the amount of milk we used to, I remember in my childhood days, the amount of milk we used to take is very, very less. Now, in every, everywhere and in every occasion, we are, buying the sweets, making the sweets with the ghee and milk, and we are pouring the milk like anything, right? Because of the lot of demand. So the we are making everything is artificial. There's nothing natural nowadays, right? So just think from your, from your heart. The heart is always follows the principles. Yeah, mind always follows the, what you call logic, right? So think, when you think from the heart and you follow your principle, what is the principle? The principle that humans should follow is non-violence. Okay. So when it comes to the principles, we have to be rock solid that, no matter whatever it happens, I'm not going to contribute, I'm not going to, you know put even, give even an ounce of energy to this, violence. So that kind of thing, I mean, it's a learning for me as well. As I said, I've stopped using soap since last. I'm still using the shampoo, right? But I'm trying to find a ways. So things like that, we have to slowly kind of see, what best we can do to the planet. Okay. So it's been like, for me, it's been 11 years, in 2012. So 10 years, exactly 10 years actually. In 2012 May, I became full vegan. So it's been like 10 years for me now. I don't have any issues. I mean, there are certain issues which I deal with taking the healthy food, right? But the myth that, only the meat or only the vegetarian, the paneer or whatever, it will give the protein, is not true. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you see, even I am from Telangana, okay, in India. We used to, eat curd very, very rarely. Yeah, we never had the luxury of eating curd every day, right? We never had the luxury of uh, having ghee in our food. Even though we are like just above middle class, still we never had those things in our, family. So this is just because of the globalization, whatever it is called before, because of the, you know development, or so-called development. you know so maybe we are kind of destructing and destroying our planet by ourselves with our own hands, right? So just think before whatever you do, right? So, and when you adopt the plant based, when you go for this, everything becomes organic. So earlier during your childhood days, did you ever heard that this is organic, this is non-organic? No, everything was organic. I mean, I'm like, just I'm talking about like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, not even like, so many years ago, right? That was, everything was organic. There was nothing, artificial. There is no GMO, nothing. Everything is like coming, slowly coming now because of the mass production, because we are consuming a lot. Because we are buying so many things unnecessarily, right? So it is like, for all of us, it's a learning. So we'll change, we can change one by one. It's not, it will not happen overnight, I can understand. But also don't feel bad about it, and don't have regrets that, okay, I'm doing this, I've done this. As I said, every regret is a fresh blunder. So rather than focusing on the problem, let's focus on the solution. Okay. So I to be honest, I always say gratitude to the animal kingdom. It's been like, because ever since I understood the truth, ever since I understood the amount of the hard work they are putting in spite of we, abusing them, we, not taking care of them. So actually there's nothing to be taken care. To be honest, they are taking care of us, right? So we just need to leave them as they are to the animals. we don't need to take care of them, right? We don't need to get into, have a pet or whatever. Even if you leave them on their own, they're happy. You don't need to do anything, right? So I'm we all of us, we must be, we must show the gratitude towards the animals. We, in our meditation, we should include the gratitude to the animal kingdom, right? This is such a wonderful program where it is purely for animals. So when we do meditation and when we express the gratitude to the animals, so things will change. It will create the ripples in the energy, right? So, and it will create the positive energy in the world, right? So I think some of you must have seen, whenever I was doing this meditation sessions, I just talk about the honeybees. Once Einstein said, if honeybees are not there for 4 years, the entire earth would collapse. See, it's not me, it's Einstein, a great scientist, he said. Okay, so how grateful we should be to the animal kingdom, right? So that is very important. And thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, please do let me know.
So, thank you so much, Master Ravi Kiran. Wonderfully shared about your transformation and your brother's transformation. And also, thank you so much for sharing studies and research on this meat industry, harmful effect that meat industry is producing. And also interesting facts you shared about when you attended this child development sessions in US, how they are encouraging everyone to become a plant-based. And it's a very informative session, and thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this wonderful event where exclusively for animals. Yeah, wonderful.
So friends, if you have any questions, you can raise your hands.
Yeah, I forgot to say about the diet I do take is like, I know it's tea and coffee is the main thing everyone would think about. I use here a lot of plant-based meals in the UK. There's so many plant-based meals are available, and even even in India. So nowadays there are so many options available. Okay, so just see you just need to explore. Yeah.
Yes, Karthik Reddy.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for your time, and it's a nice session. Nice to understand the differences between vegetarianism and veganism. So I have a quick question regarding, protein for vegan. Like, how do you intake your protein, like being a vegan, and especially if you are doing workouts or if you are focusing on muscle growth, like basically for a regular day-to-day activities, the vegan the protein you get being a vegan, you can get it from lentils. But like if you want to grow your muscle or something like that, like in your research or like in your experience, like do you suggest any specific foods that help for muscle growth?
Right. Yeah. So sure, definitely. So basically, in our Indian food system, because I'm basically from India, everything is science backed. Our rishis and munis, they explained about the food, what kind of food we have to eat in the morning and afternoon and the evening. So that itself is a lot of information. Is I don't know much, but because I also did I used to go to the gym and I worked even after this vegan. I used to take I just want to say openly that I used to take the protein powders, but then I realized that is also not natural, because the protein is isolated, okay, and it is processed. Okay, in the UK you get a lot of options. There most of the people, even the meat eaters, they take the plant proteins, not the the V protein or whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, and soya, I use soya. Even now, the protein is the amount of protein you get in soya products is a lot, but again, eating that every day is not good, right? So we have to do our own research. What suits you? Some of the people, for some of the people, not many, but some of the people, the soya is like it's not suitable for them, mainly in the women. It depends, person to person. And also there's a lot of and negative publicity happen on the soya products as well, right? Because one, the soya products are GMO. That products are produced as a food for the animals in the and for animal agriculture, okay, for livestock. Okay, but otherwise, I'm from a place called Nizamabad where we grow soya, organic soya, a lot, and eating that soya is there's no harm in that. It's not GMO, it's non-GMO and organic, and that's one. And so two, you can see the protein is like there are certain lentils, legumes like horse gram. Did you ever heard about that? And it's called ulavalu. Okay, in our Telugu. Okay, if anybody Telugu here and in the other languages you can search. It's called horse gram. See the name. Look at the hearts, how it is, right? So that kind of muscles you get, when, but it's again you have to taking in a larger quantities. Again, you have to do everything in balance, right? Because it produces a lot of heat in your body. You also need to make sure that certain cooling food is taken along with that, like cucumber or whatever it is, right? So for me, I take soya yogurts here in the UK. It really very tasty, and it's same as normal yogurt, and only certain in certain what you call supermarkets, and only certain brands I take. So which are like, and even so many people in the UK have noticed, whoever we have introduced, uh, they replace the normal milk with this soya milk and soya yogurt, because the amount of protein and the amount of protein is more, one, and two, the fat is less. And if you take any animal products including milk, there's a fat in it. And one more important thing I would like to say is milk is acidic. It's not alkaline food, it is acidic. Okay, so yogurt maybe it's okay, but because it will have those probiotics, and maybe that is okay, the milk yogurt. But again, the soya yogurt is also okay if you go for organic one. Just give it a try. And in India, when I was there last year, there are a lot of uh, what do you call groups. They were talking about peanut curd. It exactly tastes like peanut, the normal curd, right? So you can try. But in terms of the muscle growth, whoever is focusing on, just think about the farmers. What do they eat? They only eat rice. I know in my village they eat this much of rice. Okay, but the amount of work they do is, right? So that's why they will have the six packs. You see the farmers, they will have six packs. Why? Because they eat a lot of carbohydrates, but again, they work a lot. They spend that much of energy. So, and it's natural. It's not weight, lifting the weights and everything. But for me, it worked out because I took the plant-based protein, the artificial proteins, not the natural proteins. They are isolated. Here, the hemp and brown rice, flax seeds, so that the superfoods, the protein is isolated from there. And also, you can watch the movie called Hunger. What is that?
Game changers.
Game changer. Game changers, where it talks about the carbohydrates, how important they are. But when you plan it properly, when I planned it, I was getting a lot of protein, to be honest. Okay, when you eat properly, when you take out the unnecessary junk food, and when you only take the whole food, and you easily you can get like 80 grams of protein. I think as a normal person you can get 40 grams. You need 40 grams without any workouts. And if you want to go for 80 grams or 90 grams, up to 100 grams, I think it is doable with the whole food. But if you want to go beyond 100 grams of protein every day, then you have to take the supplements. But again, I wouldn't suggest that. um, yeah, it depends on person to person. and I'm not really an expert to say the complete details, but this is what my experience I could share. Is that helpful, Karthik?
One second, I think. Yes, Karthik, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, yes, sir. Definitely, it is helpful, and yeah, like I'll check that movie. And also, one quick follow up question. So you was mentioning about some books you read about, like before I wanted to ask you, is there any book like you have in mind to learn about, like more about like how the things you mentioned in this session, to understand more, or like to know in depth, like is there any book or anything
To
you
know
suggest to read?
to know more about the plant-based diet, or to no,
Yeah, both plant-based diet and also the animal, how animal kingdom is helping the the planet, like for sustaining.
yeah. Oh, I mean, I was reading online. Okay, I was reading
All
online.
right, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So everything is available online nowadays. I think Meena, she raised hand. Meena as Chelmsford Meena. So you can also share something about the book that you were reading about food.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hello. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting session. I always like to join whenever you talk about food because that's my passion topic. And I'm a vegetarian, and I moved to, like, I'm transitioning into vegan, and a lot of help from Ravi Kiran as well, and choosing foods what to eat. Paneer is my favorite. I replaced with tofu, and masala tea is my favorite. And I can't. It's not like morning I'll have, but I want that at some point in a day. So I replaced that with oat milk because we are in UK. There are many options because we are vegetarian. We don't look at the vegan sections that. But when you stop that, automatically your eyes will go searching, and universe will show you the path. So this is the food you are looking for. And to my knowledge, so many times I went to Tesco and Sainsbury's. I didn't even look there. But when I stopped using these dairy products and all, everything is showing me as this is vegan section. You can use this is tofu, this is your biscuits, this is your cream. Even the cream also, we get vegan cream, plant-based cream where you put in your cooking. Everything. I was so scared I can't give up my ghee. I'm so like, I can't give up my ghee at any point in life. I'm so used to having, I was brought up in ghee, like it's, we have cows in the family, we have eggs in the family. When we were growing up and all, in the fields we used to bring many things. So it's very, I don't say it's easy, but you have many options if you want to move. And also I did a lot of as Ravi Kiran said, like, don't listen to anyone, do your own research. Yes, I did my own research before moving on to vegan. I read many books, and one of the book, Be Healthy or Become Extinct, that is a book that changed the life. It's only available in India, and you can get the PDF online. But that book didn't come into light in India because they didn't encourage that master to put it forward. Uh, D. Souza, his name is. Be Healthy or Become Extinct. That is the book. It speaks about milk and dairy industry, and how it is helpful, or plant-based diet, how it is helpful. You should move into plant-based and all, because there are so many diseases you can cure if you stop being taking dairy in. Especially I have seen from my friend psoriasis. I don't know what it is called, the name in Telugu, but she cured that for 9 months, stopping milk and yogurt and everything. Many things we can cure. And once you stop, just experiment. If you're non-vegetarian, for me, I can what I can say to my friends is, don't directly jump onto vegan. Move into vegetarian slowly. Then from vegetarian, slowly transition into vegan. So that will help them not to fall back again to going back. Oh, I stopped meat. Like that pull will be there when you're transitioning from one to other. So it will be easy for you. If you want to move to vegan, be a vegetarian. Then move on slowly. Find your options. Do your research and study. Listen to all the people. For me, I'm only the vegan in my family. I just started, and it's a lot of pull. Like, you can't stop, you can't be like this, eat that. How can you stop curd? How can you, because I am the one who spoke a lot about curd, because it has lactobacillus, which is used for your gut always. And when you find an alternative to that lactobacillus or fermented foods, then why not stop that dairy product? So Yeah, it's a lot of pull will be there from the family that, oh, you can't, you're gone weak. For every time if I say something, oh, today I'm headache, oh, see, you stopped the food, you stopped eating, you moved away, that's why you're getting all headaches and body pains. Come on, come back, eat this, eat eggs, that, this and all. So do your study. And there are many people who speak about plant-based diet. Especially I was reading about, I was listening to this coach. He's a nutritionist coach called Luke Cortino. So he speaks about milk and how it affects children if you're feeding them milk. So that you can listen on YouTube, it is available. And some books, so many books in the library, you don't need to purchase books also, just to go and see. There is a book called from he's a British doctor, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. He speaks about plant-based diet a lot. You can read that. If you are in India, you can read this book, Become Healthy, or Be Healthy or Become Extinct, D'Souza book. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice, nice, Meenaji. So yeah, I mean, going into vegan is also directly okay, but again, I would say, uh, see, to be honest, I don't remember we using the butter or ghee in our cookings during my childhood, and I don't even heard the name called paneer until my engineering. Okay, so, and because I'm a South Indian and from basically from Telangana. The paneer was introduced in my life only when I joined the engineering. Okay, until then I didn't even know that there is something called paneer. You know, see, the because of this globalization and IT and all those things, we are introduced to the different world cuisine. But it's okay to try different cuisines. But it is not necessarily the non-vegan or non-vegetarian food. It can be vegan food as well. There are some places where the complete village itself is vegan. Okay, so I see there's a question that from Kinnari shop that we are vegans and use soya milk, soya yogurt. Is it okay? For me, it is okay. For us, it is okay. To be honest, because uh, as I said, I don't think too much about this soya and soya yogurt because I somehow I have the feeling that it is a negative publicity is happening in the world about soya, because even when you see uh, the dairy industry guys, they are opposing the even the using the term milk for the soya milk and the plant-based milk. They say like, what do we call then? It's coconut milk is there since ages. It's not now, right? So we can call them as milk. So they were like, which they say like, the calling milk should be banned for the alternative milk. Why not? Because anything produced from the rice is a rice milk, right? So basically any milk produced by a mother, it's for their babies, as simple as that, right? And as I said, uh, if it is for us, why can't we just drink directly from the cow instead of doing the process and everything, the warming it and heating the milk and all those things? Just drink as it is, and also live as the animals live as the cows live, right? There's so many discussions, debates, arguments that um, uh, the only the tiger eats day. So yeah, live like a tiger, right? Just don't wear the claws and just live in the forest and do be like a tiger. So then I understand and I agree with your arguments fully. I agree with you. But if you are like living in the house and wearing the clothes and you are following, you are not living like a tiger and you compare yourself with the tiger. So it doesn't make sense, isn't it? So same like for the milk also. Okay. And I remember that during our childhood days, we had buffaloes at our at our place, and we used to treat them very nicely. But still, I remember that even then we used to tie the calves so that they don't drink the milk. See, I mean, even though there is some to some extent there's a love and compassion, and again on the other side we are still exploiting the animals since ages. Okay, and because of the demand, we are producing a lot of this milk, which is not really good for the planet and for all of us. Yeah. Good. That's it from my side. I think. Yeah. Unless anybody has any questions. Yes, Karthik. Yeah.
So, yes, Karthik, do you want to speak again?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Yes.
Yes. Thank you once again, Ravi Kiran Garu, for this wonderful session.
Yeah.
Yes. So friends, on June 5th, we are having Environmental Day. So everyone, please take up this challenge of going to this plant-based food, planting trees and saving water. So conservation of the nature is very important. It is a need of the hour. So let's all work together for this global cause, because we should not, we should stop being cruel to animal kingdom, and stop using all these animal products. And because animals are joyful beings, they have their own life, they're very sentient beings like us, so they have a lot of abilities like us. They care, they take care of the children, so it all yes. So yes, in my case, actually, first I used to follow Patri sir, like as Ravi Kiran is saying, like I follow the principles of PSSM, this 18 guiding principles. 90% I can say that I am the vegan, because actually milk from my childhood, I don't have habit of drinking milk, because when I have this direct, when I drink milk directly, I used to get some irritation in this throat. But Ravi Kiran, he introduced this vegan milk. I think since then we are using this milk, only vegan milk for coffee or tea. Also, yeah, when it comes to clothing, also mostly I prefer cotton clothing, or even it comes to saris, I chose plant-based like vegan saris only. But it's all about the choice, my dear friends. Vegetarianism must, veganism is like a choice. But yes, when you feel like, when you have that inner calling, yes, you can follow, you can definitely follow. It's about your personal thing. Yeah, that's what I thought I want to share. And thank you so much once again, Ravi Kiran ji.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, friends. Yes, Meena ji shared the WhatsApp group. Yes, we do have the WhatsApp group. We do have healthy recipes. So please do join this WhatsApp group. And there are a lot of YouTube channels by Dr. Ranjan. Yes, you can watch him. And Dr. Daryl D'Souza, what Meena ji was mentioning, yes, previously he used to be very active in our PSSM, but as she said, he is now not active in any way. So please do read his books also. He shares a lot about this healing on these healthy foods. And one more thing, my dear friends, we have to be very conscious about our eating habits, because we have to live in the moment and we have to take that food very consciously. This is the thing all the enlightened masters suggest. From our childhood, we didn't think about this protein or anything. We have to be very conscious. When we live in the moment, when we eat consciously, that itself is energy to our body. And yes, we have to know all the information and wisdom about this healthy eating habits. And at the same time, we should be very conscious about our eating habits. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, then see you next weekend wisdom sharing session. Bye, everyone.